Rob Markman, because he poses a question: what if Travis Scott never caught the Pharrell disses on the Drake Meltdown verse? I hadn't even thought about that, because Travis isn't necessarily a lyricist, and maybe he just didn't know the history. Everything is a maybe, all alleged. I'm not super willing to just like give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, nah, he didn't know, because it's kind of obvious. I mailed down the chains that I bought from your boss. He mentioned Louis and say, since Virgil died, we not even wearing that shit. So you kind of got to know. All right, let's go ahead and get into this Rob Markman video. Then we're going to get into Deleted right after.
Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. This is just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, comment. I try to comment as much as I can. Almost at 40,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button, man. Let's get up to 40,000, man. It'll mean Big a lot. You know, there's a lot of talk about this Clips record, this So Be It record, Push's final verse, where Push aims his bars at Travis Scott.
Now, he's heard the whole album, from my understanding. He's already heard the whole album. So I think he has a little bit more context too, which is why I kind of interested in listening to what he's got to say.
A little bit of recap for anybody who needs to be caught up. But on this video, I spoke to somebody. Somebody reached out to me who is connected to that Meltdown record, who has something to do, who played a part in getting that Meltdown record out to the world. Somebody reached out to me. They wanted to remain, you know, anonymous in that way, but they offered another perspective. I'm going to tell you about what that conversation was like. You know, they want to offer a perspective from Travis's side, you know, but let's just do this quick rundown. So the final verse is So Be It. Pusha aimed his bars at Travis Scott. He confirmed it to GQ. It's no longer a suspicion or speculation. Pusha confirmed it with GQ. His bars were aimed at Travis.
Bro said Utopia. Immediately, he said Utopia. I'm like, that's Travis. Shout out to Dim Jam for the 2, man. Cap, Meltdown, Sicko Mode, and Like That, Coincidence. Cap, Meltdown, Sicko Mode, and Like That, Coincidence. Dim Jam, explain that for me if you don't mind. Cap, Meltdown, Sicko Mode, and Like That, Coincidence. I'm late. What up, Wendy?
Travis, and he said because of what he felt was Travis's lack of loyalty after Travis crashed a session with Pharrell to play his Utopia album, but he didn't play the Drake verse on Meltdown, and that's where Drake says that he'll melt down the chains that he bought from Pharrell's auction, that Pharrell put up willingly. You know, got to add that part in there.
I was gonna say that too. It's not like Pharrell gave it, like, just was broke and was like, bro, I need the money, man, sell these chains. Like, he auctioned them off. He didn't want them.
Somebody stole the chains from Pharrell or something like that. Pharrell had an auction, put it up willingly. Drake, you know, got a hold of some of these chains, said that he was going to melt it down on the verse. Drake also dissed or downplayed, right? Louis Vuitton said that his gang wasn't wearing Louis Vuitton since Virgil isn't around anymore, and a reference to Pharrell taking over at Louis, like a creative direction at Louis Vuitton after Virgil tragically passed away. Anyway, Pusha cited that instance of Travis crashing the session and playing Utopia but not playing Meltdown. He cited the instance of the time of when Drake dissed Kanye on Travis's Sicko Mode, and he cited the instance when the time that Travis like excitedly encouraged Future and Metro to play Like That at Rolling Loud, preview Like That. They didn't play Kendrick's verse where he dissed Drake, but he wanted them to play the record.
He must have,
and it's unclear whether at that point, if Travis had heard the Kendrick verse, if the Kendrick verse was in place, whether he even...
I think he obviously heard it. If he said, play that, I think he heard the verse, and I think that they just wasn't willing to play it at his show. They weren't willing to like debut it there. Like, I think that he definitely heard it and knew exactly what it was. I think there's a lot to that. The timelines just add up perfectly.
No. But regardless, Pusha told Ebro on Apple this in addition to his GQ interview. He did one for the New York Times. He did one with Apple with Ebro. Pusha says, I just thought it was disrespectful. We don't even want to hear you I'm sorry. He says, I just thought it was disrespectful. We don't even want you here, to be honest. Talking about the studio session. We're not here to hobnob with any rappers, and I personally don't like rappers who don't rap. I don't want to hear that. I don't want it. Then he continues, so to come and interrupt the session and do something backhanded, and not for nothing, but I had done put my arm around you before, but to go along with the title, so be it. He does this numerous times. He'll do this with his mentor, Ye. So that he's referencing Sicko Mode. Pusha also said, I don't like rappers who don't rap. I don't want to hear that. Stay out of rappers' business, you specifically. So there's him speaking to Travis. You know, Travis isn't necessarily known as a spitter, right? It's more of a vibe thing. And Travis has, I mean, you know, we see writing credits on certain records. So this is what Push is alluding to. I don't like rappers who don't rap. I don't want to hear that. Stay out of rappers' business, you specifically. You know, Push in his verse and in the interviews alluded to a time when he was there for Travis. I'm assuming the cried in front of me part is what he's referring to. So Push possibly offered some type of support. And at least that's what he's alluding to, right, in his quotes and in the song. So aside from being in the same rap crew, which is good music, and aside from having Pharrell on Utopia, there's this thing that we don't exactly know what happened, you know, but whatever that thing is also sets up the expectation of some type of loyalty or reciprocity,
right?
To not have Drake diss Pharrell and push.
Yeah, basically like, yo, I was there for you. How could you do this thing, right? Dim Jam for the 5, man. I appreciate you. It's too many times Travis was there for people he messed with, getting dissed, and he was there celebrating it. Meltdown. So, oh, yes. Thank you. So you're saying these are all the instances. It was Meltdown, Sicko Mode, and what was the other one? Like that. Yeah, he was there for all of those things. I appreciate that. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Dim Jam. Shout out to TM Smith for the 10, gang. I appreciate you. If you know hip hop, there has always been beef. Go back and listen to the 80s and 90s raps. There were so many sneak disses and direct disses. This is not new. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it is not new. This is not new at all. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate you.
Pusha, you know, by extension, in this Meltdown verse, right? So, you know, so here's the flip side. You know, that's Pusha's side. Here's the flip side. And I'm going to give you something else to consider. I'm just telling you what was told to me. So I'm gonna clue you in on the conversation I had with somebody. Then I'm going to ask y'all what y'all think. And I'm going to give y'all what I think. So boom. Again, like I said in the beginning, someone who was directly involved with the Travis Scott Meltdown record reached out to me. Didn't want to be named, but reached out and offered a perspective from this particular person's point of view, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. They said, and this is a quote. This, what I'm reading verbatim, is a quote. Meltdown was made literally a day before Travis' album dropped, so it's impossible that he heard that without a Drake verse.
Meltdown was made the day before the album dropped. I'm thinking about it logistically. Clearance, everything packaged, sealed, done. Here's the record. We recorded it, got it cleared, everything done, put it on the album the day before. That's the only thing he just started, but
is a quote. Meltdown was made literally a day before Travis' album dropped, so it's impossible that he heard that without a Drake verse. Direct quote.
It was made a day before, so it's impossible that he heard that without a Drake verse. Is he saying that it's impossible that Push heard it without the Drake verse? That don't even make sense.
Meltdown was made literally a day before Travis' album dropped, so it's impossible that he heard that without a Drake verse. Direct quote. They also said, I didn't take the quote here, but they did say that to them going at Travis Scott is funny and question Push's need to diss someone during every rollout. So I asked this clarifying question. I asked, I said, so they heard no version of Meltdown, not even the shell of a song existed. When Travis played the record for Pharrell? The answer, and this is a direct quote, that song was finished in the final hour of Utopia while Drake was touring. So my response was this. I'm giving you the conversation that me and this person had, because the person did offer their perspective, but it was a conversation. I had questions to ask. So I said, depending on whatever Travis's Pharrell relationship is, I'm assuming they're good. Should Trav have said to Drake, hey man, I get it, but I can't have you say that on my album because now Travis is caught up in some shit. What should an artist do in that situation? What's the protocol? This is me asking this person that, and this is their answer. I don't think Travis intakes lyrics like that. Knowing him well, he definitely not picking apart no lyrics, as well as he didn't have enough time to. The song was finished in the finals of the album.
But I mean, and the thing is, I think I'm inserting the way I would do something, listening to how Travis did that. If he's saying the album was finished the day, that song was finished the day before it went out. Basically, they're saying whatever Push and them heard, it wasn't done yet. It wasn't done yet. It wasn't there. The song was finished and it just gets released without Travis hearing it, without anything. Yo, we sent the record to Drake. He sent it back. It's done. It's done. Listen. And like I said, he said it in the beginning. He said, yo, this is just what was told to me. So I'm not even tripping off what nothing Rob Markman saying. It's the homie. I'm glad he even sharing what he's saying. He even sharing it. I just don't know if I believe what he's being told. Because I just can't imagine your album drops. You have a record that's out, that's basically out and unfinished the day before a Drake record. You got a Drake record that isn't turned in yet, and y'all still gonna put. So if Drake didn't send Meltdown back, the album was just gonna drop without Drake on Meltdown? I don't even. Because but the thing is, we are realizing that Travis is not super hands-on with anything. Like, I'm willing to understand and take that. Travis isn't very involved. But I still gotta think that it has to be done. And he has to hear the whole thing. But if he ain't hearing the whole thing before it go out, that's kind of crazy, man. Dim Jam for the 2, man. I appreciate you. He said, so Travis did the same thing for, he said, so Travis did the same thing for Sicko Mode? Meltdown wasn't on the physical because it wasn't ready. Travis is not that far off from Drake to need to bow to Drake. Trav is an A-list artist in today's music scene. No, he's saying that Meltdown didn't exist. So that would mean that Travis and Drake both made verses 24 hours before the album was turned in. It's crazy. I think, wait, let me go back. Because from what I'm hearing is Meltdown is something that's done on Travis's end and they sent it out. So they sent it out to Drake to get his verse done and it wasn't turned in. He turned it in the day before. If they're saying that the album, the song was not, it was a figment of an imagination, then Push is lying and saying you played us the song and it was no song. So that's why I don't believe that, because Push is saying I heard a song and I don't think that was the day before, right? Come on, man. There's a lot going on here. Let's go back a little bit.
Travis intakes lyrics like that. Knowing him well, he definitely not picking apart no lyrics, as well as he didn't have enough time to.
So he not picking apart lyrics and he didn't have enough time to. The timepiece, I believe, but if he heard it, I'd have to believe he knew what it was.
The song was finished in the finals of the album. So I said, okay, so it could have went over his head. And the
Right.
answer
So the song was finished in the final. So it was already there was already something there.
was definitely went over his head. Even with the Like That incident, he never heard Kendrick's verse on that because,
Right.
as always,
John.
these guys giving their verses and files last minute.
Hold up.
So definitely went over his head. Even with the Like That incident, he never heard Kendrick's verse on that because, as always, these guys giving their verses and files last minute. I'm guessing to avoid leaks. And everyone accused him of being a snake. Dude literally just wants no problems and just enjoys making music.
I mean, so now they saying that he never even heard Kendrick's verse on Like That. He just wanted Metro and Future to play the song because he had heard their verses. I mean, the thing is, it's not unbelievable. It's just, it fits that he's just not involved in anything. He didn't know about Like That. He didn't know about Meltdown. Sicko Mode, he just was not, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know. It's real easy to play the dumb card, right? Like, oh man, I didn't even know I ain't know nothing was happening. Just everything happening to me. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments though. But I mean, I respect it. I respect it. And again, this is just what's being told to Rob Markman. This is not him saying this. So let's be sure to understand this is him just reporting what he's heard.
Dude literally just wants no problems and just enjoys making music.
He's reading direct.
So that was the back and forth with this person who you know just didn't want to be named but wanted to offer some perspective, and who, to their credit, has perspective, was, again, like I said, involved in the Meltdown record. So the question to y'all is, do y'all believe that Travis doesn't pay attention to lyrics? And if so, does he get a pass from that?
I think there's two things that seem like they're happening. One, everything's happening at the last minute. It's rushed. And he's not listening to the finished product. I just can't believe that, bro. You know how much Utopia meant? You know how much Utopia meant? Bro, this is the album after, and I think it's crazy how this is all happening too, by the way. This is the album after the incident. This album meant everything. If this album was ass, it was a problem. I still didn't think it was his best work. But this album meant a lot. So not paying attention to what's going into the album on your arguably one of your best songs on the album in Meltdown, you're not listening to your Drake feature? You just putting it out? But that's crazy because not that the two situations are exactly the same, because I can't say that. But there's video of Travis listening to Drake's verse on Sicko Mode. I would want to hear that. Bro, y'all remember the video of Travis going ape shit when he heard Drake's verse on Sicko Mode? Y'all remember that video? So I wouldn't give Travis a pass for not listening to it. Because even if you don't know what's being said, you should at least like the vibe of, because what if it was ass? Literally, just what if it was ass? What if Drake just decided to go to sleep that day? He'd be like, nah, bro, keep that shit. I don't want that on the album. You just, hey, it's Drake, throw it on the album. I don't care what it is. We gonna run with it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I think the I'm not a rapper facade, I just make music, I don't even be rapping. He said that before. I think that facade is kind of what creates this gray area. If people are gonna let him slide for letting somebody get on his song and say something wild, because then you could just say Travis didn't know.
think on that and then hit me in the comments, and I'll give you my take. So to me, even if the lyrics went over Travis' head, it's his album.
Facts.
And there's still a responsibility.
Thank you. Okay, Rob. Okay, Rob. Because I was finna be like, bro, you please don't tell me you finna be like, it's Travis, we got to give him a pass. Thank you. He said it's still your album and there's still a responsibility. Shout out to Rob Markman, bro. Run that back one time.
It's his album and there's still a responsibility. Ultimately, he's still accountable for what's on your album. And it happened with Sicko Mode, and then it happened with Meltdown. Let's just say Sicko Mode was something that completely went over your head. Then you make the adjustments to your process and you do better next time. But it happened again on Meltdown. And both of them were Drake verses. On Sicko Mode, he's dissing Ye. And then on Meltdown, Pharrell, and by extension, Pusha. And so if Drake is your man, and you want to be neutral, if you just kind of want to just have fun and make music and vibe, and Drake is your man and you want to be neutral, you got to speak to your man.
Bro, thank you. I'm saying you got to let him know beforehand. Hey, bro, last time that wasn't cool, bro. The last time. But here we go. Hold up. Because I got to find this video. This is him, bro.
Oh, nothing nice. Ooh, checks over stripes. He's back. He's back. It's only like an hour long. Oh yeah, he went stupid.
What's like 35? Let's go. Look at my That shit all done.
What'd he say?
It's only like an hour long. Oh yeah, he went stupid.
What's like
It sounded like he said he took him an hour.
Let's go.
And that's the other thing too. Drake is sending back a verse to Travis. You're not sending back a verse to Block Boy JB. You sending a verse back to Travis. So you kind of got to have a little bit more like, hey, I need to get this verse done. Or I can't for the life of me understand why that song was finished the night before the album. I can't figure it out. But he listened to the song. He kind of understood Tech Silver Strike. You know what I'm saying? He don't seem like a complete dummy. But hey, I don't know. Y'all let me know. But I had to play that because he's heard things beforehand and they ran with it. So why would this be any different? Why now would you not hear your Drake verse on Meltdown and put the song out without hearing it? That make any sense? He said in an hour too, right? Thank you.
Bro, please don't put me in these positions.
Yeah, facts.
To your man.
Facts.
Bro, please don't put me in these positions. You know what I'm saying? That's a combination. There's the accountability part of it. I don't think it's enough to just say, hey, I didn't get the lyrics. One time it could be a mistake. We all make them.
Right.
One time could be a mistake. It happens again, and it's kind of like,
okay,
you got to speak to your man. Don't put me. You can't keep putting me in these positions because I don't want a part in this. The other part is that Travis does work with writers. It's been documented. It's a known thing. Sci-Hi the Prince is one of them. Sci-Hi is one of the best pens ever. So for Travis to even recite some of those lyrics has to have some idea of how the bars and the entendres work. It's kind of the reason
you reciting some of the best. You recite, well, not to say that his lyrics be the best. I think he have to dumb his lyrics down. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he have to dumb his pen down for Travis. I can't recite none of Travis's bars. But he's gotta understand how some of this shit work, bro. You can't just go, Here's the thing, because then again, Travis is here. Hold up. Here's some more evidence. Here's some more evidence. Here's some more evidence.
I'm almost like,
Damn, that look weird.
yo, man, I need this K-Dot
Nah.
verse, because I seen him, he had a show and people started singing. I'm almost like, yo, man, I need this K-Dot verse, because I seen him, he had a show and people started singing Antidote. And he was like doing it with him. I was like, yo. I was like, I'm on Kendrick radar. And that was the second time I met him at the VMAs before. Like, he walked up to me, he's like, yo, man, yo, you know, my name's Kendrick, you know, yo, your music's very inspirational. I love it. It's like super dope. I love your last album. I was like, what? You be barring ends out. Like,
You be barring out. He understands that Kendrick ain't out here just tiptoeing around and not rapping. You be barring ends out. Sounds like a level of understanding to me.
you know, you be RIPing ends on the track, man. Like, you just walked up to me and was just like, yo, I'm Travis. When I be rapping, I be like, really listening to your music, like, man, this dude's just said a lot of bars, man.
One more time.
This dude's just said a lot of bars, man.
One more time.
Really listening to your music, like, man, this dude's just said a lot of bars, man. Like, these raps I got right here be looking like this, man, like spaced out. I'm like, man.
So again, that just paints the picture of he understands. He don't be understanding bars is somebody trying to save him. That's all.
Some of those lyrics has to have some idea of how the bars and the entendres work. It's kind of the reason you seek out somebody like Sci-Hi to work with, to help you come up with these lyrics, because you want some level of that. Then the last part is on Meltdown. Travis piggybacked off of Drake's verse. Remember, Drake had the lyric, you act like you love this American shit, but really the truth is you scared of the six. You scared of the six, you scared of the six. You kept repeating it. So when Travis starts his verse, he says, and they scared of the 7. After 1-3, then we turn up 11. Keep the shit open like 7-11. So 713 is an area code, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, man, this is starting to sound weird, bro. Cause how could it, all right, the song is done, put the album out, and Travis went and piggybacked off of Drake's verse. Huh? Come on, bro. Let's go, Rob. Doing that investigative journalism. It's not a podcast. It's just his thoughts, though.
It says, and they scared of the 7. After 1-3, then we turn up 11. Keep the shit open like 7-11. So 713 is an area code, I believe, in Houston.
Yeah.
So he piggybacks off of Drake's verse. He takes the scared of the 6, flips it to scared of the 7. So his verse plays off of Drake's verse. Again, I don't know who wrote it. I very likely, looking at the credits, it looked like Travis wrote the verse. I'm not taking nothing away from him, because if you look at the written by section of the song, it's Drake as a writer. All the producers, because there's beat switches, so all the producers are listed as writers, because producers get listed as writers. And then there's Travis. So all the producers are credited, as they should be, as writers. Mm-hmm. And then there's Drake, who appears vocally, and there's Travis, who appears vocally. So it doesn't seem like there's
Anybody
no extra
nobody else helped him there.
On there, right?
Rob doing his job on this one, bro. Rob doing his, he like, hey, bro, look, you ain't finna just come out here and say mans didn't know what the hell was going on. He knew exactly what was going on. All right, bro, I like it.
You know, my source, back to you know, my guy that reached out, you know, he questioned me on Pusha's need to diss people about his rollout. You know, diss people during his rollout. Like, and I seen that narrative going around too. Like, oh my God, every time this guy comes out, he disses somebody. So my response was, and I told, and I'm just illustrating this to you because, you know, somebody gave me their perspective, but I'm going to have the back and forth conversation with you. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to probe. I'm going to give my perspective. So when anybody who sees me up on this camera, you know, you can't say, oh, I switched it up on you. This was a conversation that me and this person had, and I'm just sharing this with you. But question Push's need to diss people for the rollout, and I told them this. I said, look, and there's a direct quote from our conversation, our text conversation. I said the real fact of the matter is tensions are high right now, and even the slightest sign of disrespect is gonna set certain shit off. Even some shit that they could possibly let slide is gonna get addressed.
Right.
That's the climate we're in right now with Push.
It's the we not letting go no more. I'm saying, but I also think this though. I said this earlier in the stream. If you just tapping in, this would have dropped a long time ago. We're like a year late on this. Apparently, we like a year late. It seems like it's beef. They probably would have been putting this album out around the time we was getting all the Kendrick music, everything from back then. And it's like, and I mean, I guess to address the question of why do they feel the need to diss somebody every time they drop an album, I don't know. I can't answer that. But if there's a problem, is it not advantageous to address said problem when it makes sense for me? I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense though. Like, you have to use it to your advantage at the end of the day. People ain't, I mean, you could definitely address the problems when they happen. But I think if your business is putting out music and then expressing thoughts and expressing feelings and emotions on wax, this is what I'm doing. I don't know, bro. Y'all can tell me what y'all think about that.
They could possibly let slide is going to get addressed. That's the climate we're in right now with Pusha, Drake, Kendrick, even the whole
CP,
Joey thing.
exactly.
Even though that was less personal, the rappers are addressing everything. That was my quote. That was my exact response to him. The fact is, and just as I elaborate on that, is everybody does it. This idea that Pusha is just using this for his rollout.
Facts.
There's some type of sub, diss, addressing something every time Drake comes out.
Bro, somebody just said that. Somebody just said that in the chat. Drake do it every time. There's always some sort of sub or diss on. Bro, come on.
Addressing something every time Drake comes out.
You cooking, bro. Yeah.
Kendrick too.
Yep.
Pusha too. This is rap. This is not anything.
Right. So are we supposed to go on reality TV and talk about it? Or when we are dropping music, do we address our problems through music on music and in art? Come on, bro. People try to make it seem like it's something that it's not all the time. Now rappers should not use their art and rap to discuss and address issues. When else should they do it?
Push it too. This is rap. This is not anything new. Also, the Clips album is called "Let God Sort Them Out." Right. The full saying is "Shoot 'em all and let God sort them out." So, I think Pusha is okay with being the villain to anyone who wants to paint him as a villain. I personally think this album, and I don't know if it's, I don't know if I want to diminish it to that, but I had a thought and I was like, what if they just air out all of their grievances, all of their issues with everybody throughout this album? What if everybody gets smoked? Everybody. And let God sort it out. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. I'm going to tell y'all why y'all are ass. I'm going to tell y'all why y'all are not like us. And then I'm going to let God sort them out. Let the chips fall where they may, right? Do we expect Travis to rap back? And is Travis going to come back with a diss track? I don't know. He's not really that type.
He's not.
Of rapper, but this may bring something different out from him. That there was a Shannon Sharp interview with Bun B where Bun B said that he thinks Travis will respond. I don't know. This could bring something different out from him.
I don't think it's smart as no, let me take that back. I don't think Travis would be looking to win. I think Travis would just be looking to not look like a punk. I was gonna say something else. I think he'd do it to just not look like you're not gonna bitch me, bro. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna rap. If I lose, I'll lose. I'm not expected to win. That's what I said. He has nothing to lose. He's not expected to win this battle.
You know, I don't know.
I hope he does.
But that's just not his energy.
I hope he does.
But we'll see. And Pusha will have to be prepared for that if Travis responds and says something. I don't think Pusha's worried.
Nah.
About, he's gone back and forth before. I'm not trying to, he's gone back and forth before. So I don't think he's worried about, oh my God, what am I going to do if Travis responds? This is rap. This is the state of rap. So I don't see why. And as fans, this is the thing that we love. These are the storylines that we cling to. Mm-hmm. There are going to be a lot of storylines from this Clips album.
I think so too.
A lot of dope ones. A lot of ones I'm really looking forward to talking about. One of them, the main one for me, is the return of Malice.
Yeah, man. I
think that's incredibly interesting. But beef sells. And it happens with everybody. Who subbed who said what with who. We seen it last week when Nicki dropped her Lil Wayne verse.
But isn't that what has been missing, and what people are kind of thirsty and hungry for? Is that type of energy? Then it'd be crazy, bro. Oh, I love this. I love that. I love the fact that, we rapping again. I love that people are keeping it on wax and going back and forth and talking about who's the best and whatever. And then when it happens, it's like, why are you doing it? Bro, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, when we listened to GNX and said, where the diss is, where is he addressing stuff? Some sexy songs for you. We had Give Me a Hug. That was there. Like, it happens with every out on For All the Dogs. Some NBA player got dissed. Sometimes, Serena's husband got shots. Like it just happens, man. Things get addressed, things get aired out. So to act like this is something new is just different for me. But or something that I don't agree with. But I wanted to share that with y'all and honestly.
Hey, look. I really, 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 really respect that from Rob Markman. I respect what he said. He didn't let Travis off the hook at all. He didn't let Travis off the hook. He said, it's your album. You have a responsibility on your album. He listened. He said, he spoke to somebody close to the situation. They said, Travis don't be listening to bars like that. They said the album was done. The song was done the day before the album dropped and all of that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. I don't necessarily believe it. Y'all heard my take on it. I think Travis absolutely is able to understand. I think that the dumb card is something that could just be played if you really just want to try to skate by unscathed, right? And not ever have to answer for your actions. That's the only thing. That's what I believe. So also,